So, who are the 3 people that you must have working with you so that you can successfully flip houses? Well, I'm pretty sure you've probably heard like the lender, the contractor, and the realtor. But what do you do if you don't have any of those people locked in as a resource and you want to get started anyway? In this video, I'm going to share a couple of ways that you can get started without having those people specifically identified, and why you shouldn't let not having specific people to work with keep you from getting started right now. Hi and welcome. My name is Amber Miller. I have been flipping houses since 2008, and welcome to my channel. And today I'm talking about what do you do if you don't have the realtor, contractor, and lender that everybody says you need to have in order to get started flipping houses. Well, let me tell you, if you do have those 3 people, it obviously makes things much simpler, but it's really rare for anyone to have all of those relationships established and found from the very beginning. So that's why I'm going to talk today about why you can't let not having those people get in your way of starting. So when it comes to realtors, obviously, you're going to need a realtor in order to write offers for properties for you. And that is the best and easiest way, not only from a administrative standpoint and having them know the rules with the purchase agreements and the terms of a good real estate transaction, but they're also going to be able to advise you on other things like inspection and contingencies and help you identify what might be potential pitfalls if you're going to resell the house. They can help connect you with home inspector and also negotiate maybe price reductions if there's big issues that come up. So there's a lot of value that a realtor can bring to the equation. But if you don't have one to get started, here's what you should do. Keep looking for properties, or start looking for properties. Use the resources and websites that you have available. Like, I really like Redfin, even more so than Zillow, because Redfin actually has a feature where it shows you if something has an accepted offer on it rather than just for sale or sold. So I like using Redfin. I like to look at the properties that have been listed. I like to see what things are selling for. But if I was starting right now and I didn't have my real estate license like I do, and I didn't have a realtor, what I would be doing is looking for properties that were being purchased by someone that were in bad condition and had an indication in the comment section like fixer upper or grandma's house or handyman special. I would be looking for those houses, and I would be looking to see who the agent is on that site who is identified as the selling agent, because that means that person is likely working with an investor. The other thing you can do is look for potential listings of renovated flips. So homes that have been renovated that are brand new, obviously indicate in the comments like complete renovation, like top to bottom redo, like anything like that. If you find listings in neighborhoods that you're interested in buying in that have those types of comments, then that agent is likely working with the flipper who did that work. So that is a good person to reach out to and connect and just say, hey, I came across your listing and it looks like you work with investors. I am actually an investor myself and I'm looking for an agent to partner with. Are you available to have a phone call? So super simple, right? You could even use that email template and send it to multiple agents who you see are doing the same thing, working with investors and purchasing the fixer-upper properties and then listing the completely renovated homes. That's one thing I would be doing right now. Second thing I would be doing right now, if I didn't have those 3 relationships, is I would be building a list of people who are contractors, either through referrals from people that I knew or from people that I know are investors who've hired contractors, or even just driving around and seeing contractor vans or signs or trucks. Anything that you can see where you can get a name and a phone number is something I would be jotting down. I'd actually probably have like a small notebook to do that. I have actually found some of my best contractors for specific work because I have jotted down names and phone numbers or taken a picture of a truck with a name and a phone number. My welder, who does custom railings for most of our projects now, was found that way. So that is a really good resource to keep track of. And before you even need them, just connecting with them and finding out, do they even do work with investors? Because you'd be surprised, some contractors don't. Sometimes they only do residential client work. So if you know they don't do investor work, then you can immediately cross them off your list and move on. And number 3, what would I be doing right now if I didn't have those 3 core relationships established? I would be going to the local real estate investor meetings and finding out who people are using for lending. Now, small local lenders oftentimes have programs that they don't promote to the general public, but if it's a program that is designed for investors, they're likely going to be promoting it at an investor event, something like a monthly meeting, or maybe an investor summit, or maybe a Q&A with local real estate investors. So connecting with those resources and those events is going to give you that exposure and that opportunity. Also, just talking to people, asking who they're using for their loans, what kind of funding are they using. I use 3 local banks in my community that have programs specifically designed for fix and flip investors, and those products don't necessarily exist in other banks, especially the larger ones, but I wouldn't even know about these if I hadn't talked to other investors and gotten referred to these banks, because they actually do almost all of their client work through referrals. So putting yourself in those arenas where you're going to have access to people who can give you those recommendations is going to be the best way for you to find out. Also, Google, look it up online, type in fix and flip loans and your city and see what comes up for banks. You might be surprised. Or you could just make phone calls as well and try to connect with the people who can get you in contact with the banks and the lenders who do those types of loans. It's a little bit of work, but it's well worth the effort. And especially considering that at some point you might need more than one partnership or relationship in any one of these areas to help you with your business. I hope these tips were helpful. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and like this video, and make sure you don't miss out on the next video coming out next week. And if you have any questions, please make sure you're dropping those in comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, bye for now.